Today, I want to talk about something that I've been hearing over and over again lately. A dentist or an orthodontist will reach out to us and they'll say something like, "Hey, Chris, we've been spending a lot of marketing, Google ads, SEO, maybe even social media, and we're just not seeing results. What gives?" And I've got to be honest with you, this isn't that rare to hear. In fact, I'd say a huge percentage of practices that come to us have already been burned by another agency. They've paid thousands of dollars, trusted the experts, and still aren't getting the new patients through the door. So in this episode, I want to unpack why that happens so often, why marketing isn't working for so many dental offices right now, and what's actually going on behind the curtain. This is a wake-up call for any dentist who's tired of hearing excuses from their marketing provider or who suspects they're paying for something that's not just running on autopilot. Hey everyone, welcome back to the No BS Dental Growth Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Pistorius, and today I want to talk about something that I've been hearing over and over again lately. It usually starts the same way. A dentist or an orthodontist will reach out to us and they'll say something like, "Hey, Chris, we've been spending a lot on marketing, Google ads, SEO, maybe even social media, and we're just not seeing results. What gives?" And it's not about our agency. These are dentists and orthodontists coming to us from other agencies. They're basically new leads. And I've got to be honest with you, this isn't that rare to hear. In fact, I'd say a huge percentage of practices that come to us have already been burned by another agency. They've paid thousands of dollars, trusted the experts, and still aren't getting the new patients through the door. So in this episode, I want to unpack why that happens so often, why marketing isn't working for so many dental offices right now, and what's actually going on behind the curtain. And just to be clear, this is not a sales pitch for Kickstart. This is a wake-up call for any dentist who's tired of hearing excuses from their marketing provider or who suspects they're paying for something that's not just running on autopilot. Let's start with the biggest reason dental marketing fails: the set it and forget it mindset. Here's usually how it goes. An agency builds a campaign, launches some ads, sets up a few automations, and then moves on to the next client. Maybe they check in every couple of months with a report full of charts and buzzwords, but nothing actually changes. Meanwhile, your ad performance declines, your SEO stagnates, and your new patient flow flatlines. And nobody seems to notice until you do. The truth is, most marketing agencies are structured around scale, not success. They make their money by stacking as many clients as possible, not by diving deep into each one. And that's kind of the set it and forget it approach. Might work for selling t-shirts online or pizzas, but it absolutely does not work for dental practices. Dentistry is local. It's relational, if that's a word. If it's not, I just made it. And it's competitive as hell. The people searching for dentists near me today aren't the same people searching 6 months from now. Your campaigns need to evolve with the market. And if they're not, you're paying for yesterday's strategy. Now, the second reason marketing fails is what I like to call cookie cutter campaigns. You'd be shocked at how many dental marketing experts use the exact same template for every single client. Same website layout, same Google ad copy, same Facebook creative. They might swap in your practice name and your location, but everything else, copy, paste. And that's a problem because every practice is different. Every demographic is different. A high-end cosmetic office in Scottsdale does not attract the patients the same way as a family practice in a rural Kansas City. If your message does not match your market, your results are going to suffer, period. But these big agencies don't have time to personalize. They've built automated systems that crank out content in bulk. It's efficient for them, but it can be disastrous for the client. Your marketing ends up feeling generic, disconnected, and completely replaceable. It doesn't speak to what makes the practice you. And here's the thing, patients pick up on that almost instantly. If your ads sound like every other dentist, if your website looks like every other site, and your emails read like they were written by a bot, you've already lost before the first click. Which brings me to the next reason marketing underperforms: large agency automation. Now, automation isn't all that bad. In fact, we use a ton of it here. But automation without strategy is like putting a Tesla on autopilot and walking away. Big agencies automate almost everything: reporting, communication, campaign optimization, and then tell you it's data driven. But what that really means is that no one's actually looking at your data anymore. When was the last time your marketing company called you up and said, "Hey, we noticed your new patient calls are up, but your conversion rate dropped like 20%. Let's figure out what's going on with those calls"? Probably never, right? That's because most agencies don't even listen to your calls. They just count them. They report, "You've got 40 calls this month," and call it a win, even if 35 of them didn't book an appointment. That's not marketing. That's laziness with a dashboard. And there is a big difference. And if your agency can't tell you which of your leads actually become patients, you don't have marketing, you have math problems. Another huge problem that leads a discussion. For years, agencies have sold dentists on one metric: leads. Look how many leads or calls we got you. But here's the uncomfortable truth: leads don't pay the bills, patients do. If your agency celebrates a Facebook campaign that generated 100 form fills, but you only got 5 new patients out of it, that's not success, that's noise. The right goal isn't more leads, it's more conversions. You need to know what's happening between that initial click and the actual appointment. That's why I always tell practices, if your agency isn't helping you improve call handling, follow-up, and tracking, you're only getting half the service you need, because the gap between lead and scheduled patient is where most of your money disappears. Now, let's talk about transparency. A practice tells me they're frustrated with their current agency. 9 times out of 10, it's not just because the results are bad, it's because they don't know what's happening. They get vague reports, no clear breakdowns of where money's going, no strategic updates. And now, if you're paying a marketing company and you have to ask them what they're doing each month, something is wrong. You deserve proactive communication. You deserve explanations, not excuses. And you deserve a team that's actually invested in your outcomes, not just your retainer. Marketing should feel like a partnership, not a mystery subscription. Now, there's one more silent killer in all of this: lack of follow through. Even good campaigns fall apart if no one's following up on the leads. We've seen practices with incredible ad performance, amazing SEO rankings, tons of calls, and yet they're still not growing. Why? Because half the calls are going unanswered, and most leads that don't book on the first try never hear from the practice again, or at least consistently. That's where most agencies shrug and say, "Well, that's not our problem, man." But if you're the dentist, it is your problem, because you're the one losing money. You can't just throw leads at the front desk and hope they stick. Follow-up isn't optional anymore. It's a growth multiplier. If your marketing partner isn't helping you track and improve follow-up performance, they're only doing half their job. So let's take a step back. If we put all this together: set it and forget it management, cookie cutter campaigns, automation overload, lead obsession, lack of transparency, and no follow-up, it's no wonder most dentists are frustrated with their current provider. They've been promised growth, but handed templates. They've been told trust the process, but never shown what that process actually is. And in the end, they feel burned because they were sold activity instead of outcomes. So what does good marketing look like in 2025 going into 2026 now? It's not about fancy graphics, clever taglines, or vanity metrics. It's about alignment. Your marketing should align with your brand, your team, and your patient experience. It should attract the kind of patients you actually want, not just anyone with a toothache. It should feed your schedule with quality, not just quantity. And most importantly, it should be dynamic. Real marketing never sits still. It's tested, refined, and optimized constantly. If your agency hasn't changed their strategy in whatever months, if they're not reviewing your calls, testing new ad angles, improving conversion paths, and actually thinking, they're asleep at the wheel, folks. The dental industry is changing fast. AI, automation, new patient expectations, everything's evolving. Your marketing has to evolve with it. Now, here's the part where a lot of dentists ask me, okay, Chris, so how do I know my marketing agency is actually doing their job? Here's a real simple checklist for you. Number one, do they talk to you regularly? And I don't mean just sending you a report. You should have real conversations with them, real outcome type conversations about the strategy, not just the automated reports. Number two, do they track results all the way to new patients, not just leads? If they can't tell you that, after someone clicked your ad and called your office, they're flying blind. I'm sorry. Number three, do they adjust and improve things every month? You should see clear evolution, new campaigns, new ideas, better targeting. And number four, do they help you improve what happens after the lead? The best agencies don't just drive calls, they help you convert them. That might mean front desk training, AI tools, or better tracking systems, whatever it takes. If your current agency fails those four questions or any of them, you probably already know why the marketing isn't working. So let me leave you with this tonight. Dentistry has become one of the most competitive local markets in America. Between DSOs, private practices, and aggressive online advertisers, it's harder than ever to stand out. But the practices that are winning right now, they're not the ones with the biggest budgets. They're the ones with the smartest systems and the most engaged partners. They know exactly what's working, what's not, and they're constantly improving. That's what real marketing is. It's not set it and forget it. It's learn it and refine it. And that's the difference between a practice that's plateaued and one that's thriving. Now, if you're listening to this and you're feeling that type of frustration, like you're spending money every month and can't see where it's going, here's my advice. Don't give up on marketing. Give up on lazy marketing. If you're a practice that's listening to this and not doing marketing right now, but you're looking to hire an agency, make sure you keep what we've talked about in mind and you know the right questions to ask. The right strategy, the right team, and the right systems can absolutely change the game for your practice. I see it happen all the time. You just have to expect more from whoever's handling it. That's what the best dentists I work with have figured out. That marketing isn't an expense. It's not like the light bill. It's an investment. It should be making you money, but only if it's managed by people who care enough to make it work. All right, that's it for today's episode. If this hits home for you, share it with another dentist who's been burned by an agency. They'll thank you later. And if you've got questions or want to talk about what a smarter marketing approach looks like, connect with me on LinkedIn or head over to our website, kickstartdental.com. Also, my email, it's Chris, C-H-R-I-S, at kickstartdental.com. Thanks for listening. And as always, no fluff, no hype, just the truth here about growing your dental practice. See you next time.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Dental Marketing Podcast. Make sure to visit our website, www.kickstartdental.com/podcast, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Spotify, or via RSS, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you are ready to grow your practice, then you might want to schedule a free strategy session with us. Just go to kickstartdental.com and click the free strategy session button and give us 15 minutes of your time to change your practice forever. Be sure to tune in next week for our next episode. And thanks for listening to the Dental Marketing Podcast by Kickstart Dental Marketing, where dentists go to win online.